taken by this feeling, baby, we're invincible.
Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Rebuilding Notts County. As always, if you're enjoying the save, drop a like on the video. That'd be tremendous. I thought we'd start just by looking at Dario Santana. You know when you get a new thing and you just want to look at it, like when you, I don't know, when you paint a nice picture or you get a new car, you just want to go, yes, that. And that's kind of how I feel about Dario Santana. So this is the start of the week, though. Time to thank new patrons. This week, no new patrons, but Peter Fisher, massive thank you to you for upping your pledge. That's genuinely incredibly generous of you. Like, unbelievable. And everyone else over there is just insanely generous. But you're now eligible to sponsor a player. So if you do want to do so, get in touch with me either through Patreon, any of the means. And yeah, let me know who you want to sponsor. The only one currently taken is Regan Booty, who Alex Watts has been kindly paying his wages for quite some time. So yes, excellent. Damn, Santana looks quality. What kind of soul sacrifice did you have to make for him? Well, I had to sacrifice the broken legs of many players, as you may have seen, but it was all worthwhile in the end. Sounds perfect winning with PPMs of cuts inside from the left wing. Yeah, but like at the end of the day, we'll just get rid of it. Like, he's only 19 years old. I've had pretty reasonable success with removing PPMs, particularly the unwanted ones. For example, with Sancho Hansen and stuff like that, where this comes deep to get ball. They're usually fairly straightforward to get rid of, particularly for players who seem to have a pretty sensible personality. I reckon we could get rid of this within 6 months. So at first, it might be a slight problem. But honestly, Stepanek has that on the right, and weirdly, does not seem to be too negatively affected by it. He almost acts like an inside forward sometimes when... He's almost like a hybrid inside forward / winger that is actually able to differentiate between the two depending on the situation, and that's more than you can get out of the standard match tactic, so maybe I'm overthinking that, but still I like it. If I have a good fast winger lacking in dribbling ability, I just look to train them in knocks ball past opponent, which gives a very useful workaround. That's generally speaking what I've actually kind of done. I think Francisco Guajardo has... Yes, there you go. I think relatively recently just learned this, in fact. So I have been trying to do that on these players to try and compensate for that slightly. But the fact is, he's actually only got 14 pace, which isn't as much as at the time it was good for us, but it's his acceleration and agility where he really shines. But it could still be enough to sort of get a bit more out of him, you know? So that's the plan with him anyway. Whatever happened to Trap Down? Second yellow card. Ah, yes. I haven't banned him or put it in spam, or I was actually quite enjoying the fact that you guys were memeing on it every time the account commented in the comment section, but it seems that Traptown has moved on to a better place. The amount of second phase corner goals I've seen this year, not just from me, but other streams, is actually insane. Makes the game very fun, since no matter how good you can be at analysing, it still happens. Yeah, I do think that is an area that needs some work. Absolutely, as you would have seen me point out. I'm going to try to keep my frustration on the down low, but it's difficult at times. We're just going to do what we did with the one-on-ones before, where we just suddenly roleplay into the save. Everyone's incompetent now from these situations, and that's just how it's going to have to be. However, I have done a bit of data analysing, like actual data, but I can't talk about that until after I've shown you the off-camera games, because there's a reason. But we'll talk about that in a minute, because I think I found something kind of interesting. No conclusions on it, just interesting. So in our first off-camera game, we were at home to Manchester City, and we were dreadful for the most part. Basically, Jordi Ferrer scored 2 early goals, and City were kind of just away with that. Stepanek had a really poor day. He has got the inconsistency sometimes, so to be fair, sometimes he's just not going to be able to be as good as he is. Raheem Sterling's goal did bug me a little bit, though, because those of you that watched my Portsmouth save will remember my irksome nature when Patrick Roberts, who was also at City at the time, who is, I think, at least maybe 3'7", not sure, was winning headers against my centre-backs. Raheem Sterling, this was a headed goal which he scored by being in between Alberto and Celso, who are 6'5" and 6'1" compared to a 5'7" player, which I'm going to just pretend and hope that it was just because they somehow both missed the ball. That's my theory on it anyway, but my God, I was like, what? And then this, to me, is just an absolute mugging, and it kind of goes into those exact same patterns in matches, although this one did actually have a slightly different end, and I don't know how that happened. We took a very fortunate lead in this game with Thomas Stepanek. Nice to see him getting back involved. You could see Watford really did create a lot of chances. They then turned it around with Emiliano Gomez and Alan Velasco, but then I almost thought to myself, well, since they've turned it around, doesn't that immediately mean that we're going to go get an equaliser? So I just didn't even touch anything. And wouldn't you know, David Ferguson volleys one in on the 73rd minute to make it 2-0, and I just went, well, that's going to be the end of that then, isn't it? But no, there was one last chance, and Ricky Griffiths was able to smash us 3-2 up with 4 minutes to go. That is a very good but very fortunate victory, and I think we kind of needed that just to get some confidence back. So pleasing, I suppose. But then the return of Desmond was very much on the cards against Manchester United, and I was pissed. Because Troy Parrott gave him an early lead with a brilliant headed goal. Really nice to see, just a pure headed goal. And then we were obviously crap. That being said, directly after half-time, Fikayo Tomori was sent off, and I went, right, let's have a crack at this now, because they obviously went really narrow, so we just dominated the sides. Darren Lever gave us a leveller on 63 minutes, and I thought, cool, we've got ourselves a point against Manchester United, probably, just like last year. Excellent stuff. But we kept on pushing, and then in the 92nd minute, Issa Mpepo scored to make it 2-1, and I thought, come on, that is a massive result. But unfortunately, as with these things, the balance must always be restored, and they scored a second phase free kick goal in the 95th minute with literally the last kick of the game. But that's life. So after all that, 17 points on the board. We are 10 points above the drop zone, still doing just fine. That Watford victory was kind of important though, because otherwise we'd be sort of down here. We're still keeping things nicely. I mean, still much closer to the same distance from the Champions League places as we are to the relegation zone, so it ain't really all that bad. Now, I said I had some data for you. Now, this is just, I'm not drawing any conclusions based on this data, purely stating it as what it is, which is numbers. But I do find this stuff kind of interesting, and I hope you guys will as well. So, with the 2-2 thing, we've seen a few of these Desmond 2-2s to the point where we make jokes about it all the time. So I thought, okay, is that just because we had a few of them in a really tight spell and therefore it's like biased our thought? So it's sort of like a Baader-Meinhof kind of situation, complex, where we're seeing them everywhere now because we got that little spell of them. So I thought, well, let's try and have a look at the numbers for it. So firstly, and this is quite important, the statistical chance over a huge number of matches, I found some statistics for a match ending 2-2 is 4.73% of the time. That's how often a match, generally speaking, ends 2-2, which is not very often. This season, 23% of our matches have finished 2-2. Now, again, we've only played 13 matches, so there's always going to be statistical anomalies in that, and you don't really want to read too much into that. So I thought, well, since I'm claiming in a way that this has happened since the last patch, so I thought, well, let's go and see how many of them we've had in the league since the last patch, because it's a much larger sample size. So we've had 46 matches since the last patch, 8 of which have been the 2-2 draws, which accounts for more than 17% of matches, which is drastically higher than the statistical average for that particular result. So I looked at how many of them we'd had in the previous league games. I only used the league just so they had a nice, because we didn't get any in the cups anyway, so actually it would have made it worse in some ways for other bits. We had 10 of them in the previous 273 matches in the league before then, which accounts for 3.6%, which is actually slightly below the statistical average, but not a huge amount. So there's definitely been a massive increase in specifically 2-2 draws since the last patch. An enormous increase of like sort of 400 to 500% increase. But moreover than that, it's the patterns within those matches, because every single all of the 8 2-2 draws that we've had since the patch have followed the exact same pattern. Team A scores, Team B equalises and goes in front, and then Team A equalises late on, or generally speaking late on, because that's just the way games go. But before, the distribution split of the actual scoring was much more varied as well, where you'd have a team that goes 2-0 up and then they get pegged back both ways. We had one where you score, they score, you score, they score. Both ways. And then obviously I think there was one that actually followed the same pattern as the current style, maybe 2 actually. So it was a much more even distribution of the scorelines. But it seems there's something, I don't know what it is in the match engine right now, that is causing these weird 2-2 draw situations to happen. Again, not drawing any conclusions from it, just saying that this is the data from it, and I just thought it was kind of interesting that I could actually say this is genuinely an increase. I wonder what's happened to make that happen. But then nevertheless, I just wanted to share that with you. So today we're away at Wolves, a game that last year would have been very, very difficult, and I imagine still will be, but this season as it is, they've won one of their first 13 matches and currently reside in the drop zone. A strange one to say the least. But more importantly, they've also beaten us all 5 times we've played them, some of which were in quite dramatic circumstances, so there's that. Now, obviously we're not going to play that system, we're going to play this approach. Now, I've been seeing some discussion in the comments about how people actually think that perhaps an attacking midfielder on support might actually function better in this system because of the way that we play. And I'm tempted to, you know what, just give it a try today, to be honest. Because I purely don't believe that we're getting the most out of this system at the moment. I still want to have him get... Oh, do we? I don't know. I think I might keep that completely blank and then try to tailor it if we like what we see. Just do a quick little switcheroo. Hansen will still play there. He's still pretty confident in that role. So Guajardo, Stepanek, Hansen, and Pepo, Silla, Ferguson, Alberto, Celso, Perrier, and of course Kim, although I want Kim or Lamjed. I mean, to be fair, Kim's... Oh, his match fitness isn't quite up to scratch. And to be fair, Lamjed actually has a nice partnership there too. So that's fine by me. Although I do have to be honest, I actually wonder if starting Darren Lever again might not be the worst idea in the world, because he is improving and he's got a better average rating in his matches so far and is training better than Guajardo at the moment. Well, we do owe Wolves what happened in the last 5 games, so that will definitely, hopefully help. I'm just very interested to see how Hansen functions as an attacking midfielder in a slightly more withdrawn role, because I think sometimes they were getting in each other's way in places. I don't know. Can he take his man or use the overlap of... There we go. Go on, Lamjed. Put a ball in. Oh, he has. And wow. And Pepo probably could have done better there. Here he goes. Lots of men making runs around him. He doesn't need any of them. He's going by himself. Stepanek, and I think he got tackled at the end there. There we go. That's the kind of ball that we weren't really playing so much earlier this year. Stepanek, look at that. He's so good. Ball across and Lever. Saved by Livakovic. Nice work. Oh, dearie me. Silla's actually played the ball into Ferguson, and now Dele Alli's in. Good save. Really, really good save. We very nearly mugged ourselves off there, which would not be the first time. Just try a pot shot, perhaps. Hansen. Silla. That's it, keep spreading that play out wide. There we go, lovely ball for Alberto. He's going to shoot! And saved by Levakovic. That's not good. Bruised shin. I wouldn't normally, but I feel like I just got to protect him. And Lever's having a poor day, so Guajardo might be getting some time in the second half, to be honest. Pretty solid first half performance, really. 9 shots, 7 on target. But really, we look pretty solid, to be fair. I don't know how Hansen's done, but I quite like him so far. Drop it off to someone who knows what they're doing, Darren. There we go. Stepanek. Oh, round the side for Mpepo. And a relatively comfortable one again for the keeper. This game's kind of nicely balanced right now. I don't want to mess it up too much, really. Oh, God, I'm concerned we're going to lose the ball here. Celso, not bad, actually. Mbappe? Mpepo. I keep saying that. Oh, Ferguson, brilliant touch from him. He's going to shoot, though, isn't he? Oh, and it very nearly deflected in. That would have been very fortunate. For the last 10 minutes, I'm going to try and play down the flanks instead and not work the ball into the box. Imagine Celso over the crossbar. I'm just encouraged by the fact we've had 15 shots away from home. Ah, dearie me. What? Okay, yeah. I mean, 30 seconds to go, and it's going to be a 1-0 defeat to Wolves. Oh, I hate losing games like that. Oh my God, Ricky Griffiths very nearly smashed one in. Oh, God damn it. That one hurts. Because I still think they've created the better chances on the night, and it's very evident that's the case. But there's a lot of opportunities for us. We've had a decent number of shots. We've actually played really solidly. And to lose it to a penalty like that is always a gut punch, to be honest. Oh, that one hurts. But we must move on. Now we find ourselves against Eddie Howe's West Ham. But the key thing for us is that we're still comfortably clear. Goal difference is great. All is well. Brighton just lost 6-1 in one of their games. So these bottom three are looking pretty... I mean, look at Brentford. My God. Not entirely sure about this. I still like some things about it. I didn't see enough of it to know what changes I really want to make to it. So I'm not going to do any just now, really. I don't really want to change anything in terms of the lineups at all, to be honest. I think perhaps going with Darren Lever was a bit of a mistake for this game. I maybe should have started Guajardo, actually, but we'll see if he can redeem himself a little bit today. On the plus side, in the last game, it didn't finish 2-2, and we didn't concede a goal from a second phase of a free kick or something, and neither did our opponents, so I guess there's that. Kamavinga. Oh, no. Well, he got the initial tackle in there, Ferguson. Good block. Here we go. Stepanek with room to run into. Hansen's kind of trailing back, and they're just going to let Stepanek run into the space, I think. And he's all the way in, and a good save and a pep. Someone said to me on the analysis video, I think maybe you're overvaluing Mpepo's importance. And I've got to say, that's 2 open goals this season he has missed. It does make you wonder, doesn't it? Maybe Troffin would have put that away. Who knows? And Mpepo's ball in and it's cleared. Hansen! Oh, good strike. And Radu makes a save. Great start from us, though. Here we go. So, half an hour in, West Ham have had no shots at all. And we look pretty much on top here. Lever, Hansen, and Alberto! And saved by Radu. Really nice football, actually. Silla. Hansen. Oh, if only you could have found Stepanek. Flicked on and Mpepo! That is a really nice goal. Issa Mpepo scores from open play, and I think you can't really say that we don't deserve that goal. We've been really good so far. Lovely work from Darren Lever as well. That's actually a genuinely nice goal. Look at this. Whip through the Hansen, dinks from up to the back post, Lever flicks it on, and Mpepo on the volley. That's just a really lovely goal. Well played, lads. That's what I want to see more of. What do you reckon then? West Ham have done nothing in the match so far. They'll suddenly score 2 quick ones out of nowhere to make it 2-1, and then we'll score a late equaliser to make it 2-2, and it'll be one of those games. Predictions abound. Stepanek has... Why would you... Why? What possible reason would he have to do that? Ferguson on ball in midfielder to defend, just to give us a bit more cover there. When we've played against 10 men, it's been really difficult, so maybe we can be the difficult ones today. Well tackled. It's going to fall to them anyway. Brain. Around the side. A great save from Suarez. His first real call to action today, and he's come up big. But there's a lot of players about at the moment, and we're going to be under a lot of pressure now. Bustos. Oh, no. Yep. Long-range strike from Lewis Cook. Goes through a crowd of bodies and into the back of the net. That's life, I suppose. It does always still bug me how these seem to go in far more frequently, but that's life. Goes through a crowd of bodies. Goalkeeper's unsighted. West Ham 1, Notts County 1. It's pretty inevitable, really. Right when you need, you're actually playing well as well. Lewis Cook, great strike, back of the net. Good block, Booty clears it. And Griffiths has got it, great first touch from him. And he's just going to go all the way through himself. Go on, Ricky. Yes! Ricky Griffiths off the bench, West Ham 1, Notts County 2. Ricky Griffiths, what a lovely goal that is. I mean, we've still created the better chances. This is brilliant, though. Great work from Regan Booty to find him. Wonderful first touch to go past the defender. And Mpepo, I can only assume, just distracts the defender. I hate when that happens, though. Griffiths holds his nerve. Back of the net. And it's West Ham 1, Notts County 2 with 10 men. It's insane. Probably don't let him run all the way through, lads? Mane, oh no. Great save by Suarez again. He stood up strong when he's been counted. This is going to be their equaliser, isn't it? Oh my god, it probably should have been 2. I don't know what Guajardo's thinking there. Just run or pass it into the channel. Somebody slap him. There we go. Silla gets on it, and that should kill the final few seconds of this match. We're going to get a really, really important victory. That is insanely good. Well played, lads. That makes up for the poor finishing against Wolves. Very, very... it's hard to say who really deserved what in that game. Like, we did amazing to do that with 10 men in. Ricky Griffiths, hero of the hour after the long-range strike from Lewis Cook. What a result that is. Massively needed that. Come on! Because he's been a bit of a silly boy there. But we're up to 9th in the league now. 20 points. Still only 8 points clear, though, due to Brighton's win. But we're also only 4 points off the European spots right now. So 5-5-5 and a -1 goal difference. It's not the end of the world, really, is it? Now, Stepanek's been banned for 1 game, but it usually gets extended to 3 games. And obviously the whole get stuck in thing is almost certainly the reason for that, of course. It's just, god damn it, Thomas. Right, so, what do we fancy? I feel like another double. Everton the 3rd. Oh, by the way, we've got Blackpool in the FA Cup. The missing rebuilding series of Blackpool and potentially Yeovil would have been the 2 that I would have done in the years that I wasn't on YouTube. So Arsenal, Newcastle and Spurs off camera. Come back for Southampton at home and Everton away, because that one's going to be an interesting game. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this episode, and I hope you have, disappointing against Wolves, but an excellent result at West Ham. Drop a like, that would be really, really nice. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, that would be gorgeous as well. And I'll join you guys very soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye. Wait, no. As always, hold your gun, capybara. How can I not see that? Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.